And then they put a post up yesterday, which he's put on 2018, and he said, you know, life, you never know how long you're going to live. And your wealth, and he said this in 2018, your wealth and everything you leave behind. You run after the dunya. No time for your children. I want to finish on this thing now, and I want you to really, really think about this. You know, they say when a person is dying, non-Muslim, yeah, not Muslim, non-Muslim. When a person is dying, so nurses and doctors who have been with people who are terminally ill, they say, what are their biggest regrets? What are their biggest regrets? So they were talking about non-Muslim, not Muslim. Their first biggest regret is that they wish that they had spent more time with those that they really loved.
Wow.
Their biggest regret. You know when the doctor tells you you're 60 and he says, listen, you got cancer, you're dying, you got 4 months, you got 6 months. Then your life becomes clear. You look over your shoulder and everything is clear, crystal clear. And then you look over your life, and then you look at your immortality, and you look and you see how frivolous life is. They say the biggest regret is, the first biggest regret is that we spent more time with those that we loved. Second biggest regret, listen to this. These are not Muslims, these are non-Muslims. Can you imagine a Muslim at that time? Second biggest, we wish that we had worked less. La ilaha illallah. Nobody ever who's dying, who knows that they're dying, ever says that I wish I had worked more. Nobody, Muslim or non-Muslim. We wish we had worked less, spent more time with the one that we love. If you're Muslim, I spent more ibadah, done some sadaqah jariyah, done something worthwhile in my community. You know what the third biggest regret is? We wish that we had expressed our love for those who are close to us. La ilaha illallah. You know when you're dying, you wish that you had told your child how much you loved him. That you had told your mother how much that she meant to you. That you had told your father how much they meant to you. They say the bitterest tears, the most bitterest tears are those which are shed at graves, those which are shed upon graves, for words unsaid and deeds undone. La ilaha illallah. The bitterest tears are those which are shed upon graves, for words unsaid. When your mum passes away, and then you stand at your mum's grave and you cry, you said, Mum, I wish I had told you what you really meant to me in my life. When your husband or your wife passes away, and then you stand by the grave, and he said, you know, all my life I was too macho to tell you what you really meant to me. And word and deeds undone. That you stand at your dad's grave now and your dad passed away. Now you go home, you got your mobile phones, you got devices, you want to talk to somebody in Australia, you want to speak to somebody in India who has nothing to do with your life. Or you want to speak to your school friends, that you are college and university friends that you've been speaking all day to. But you go home, mum, roti, finish, you're upstairs, you're on your devices. And then your dad's gone. Or your mum's gone. And then you stand on your dad's grave and you say, Dad, wallahi, if only you could come back into the world, you would see how I do your khidmah. Oh Mom, if only you could come back in the world, you would see, just one more time, you would see how obedient and what a good child I was. But it's too late. It's too late. This is reality, brothers and sisters. This is reality. Invest in your akhirah. Sacrifice for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Invest in your children. Do the khidmah of your parents. Because time does not come back. And the The eighth biggest regret people have, we wish that we had done something more meaningful with our life. Work. This is what believers are. This is what believers are. So brothers, a day will come that you and I are going to leave this world. And you and I are going to have all these regrets. And let's not have those regrets. Let's do something worthwhile in this dunya, that we invest in the hereafter, that when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala,